You're fucked up, dude.
Cool.
You should give it a clap.
Should give it a clap.
Give it a clap. Perfect. And
we're gone.
all right.
Hear nothing, see nothing, say nothing.
Episode 0.5. I am Bill Schmidt.
I am Mr. Phil. Philip
And
Lacey.
Cool. See, no, we're just going to run through it. I feel
Okay.
like one of the important things about podcasts is not talking over one another.
Yeah.
I think that'll just happen naturally.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. You're eating your pork rinds,
Yep.
and I'm sitting here drinking, about to light up a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pleasure to be in the studio with you, Phil.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Bill. It's great.
Yeah, no, this is nice. This is powerful. I don't know if the people watching or the people listening can feel the magic in the air, but oh gosh, it's palpable. It's everywhere.
It's been a great morning. I saved a dog today.
Did you?
Yep.
Want to talk about it?
Yeah. It was a kind of a fat monster. He was the size of like you know when you deflate a inflatable bed and it's in that roll.
Sure.
It's that's how fat, like maybe like 3 of those.
Oh God, that poor thing.
Yeah. It looked pretty fucking sick. So I had to feel bad because I was eating breakfast, so I was in like grumpy Phil mode. So I was like, oh man, should we just let this guy go? Like get the hell out of here. Just whatever. Just let him be. And then I'm like, you know what? I saw his oozing butthole, and I'm like, this guy's sick. We gotta help him out.
And when you say the guy, you're referring to the dog, right?
Yeah.
Not like a neighbor or anything.
Yeah.
Very good. And what, he was just digging through your garbage and you saw him through the window?
Yeah. I felt real bad, even like worse when I brought him in, because
then you could smell him.
Well, yeah. That was part of it, but I mean, he just. I don't know if it's like how, because you know bulldogs, they got breathing problems.
Sure.
He just like, I had nothing to give him, so I was giving like the best way to give a dog diabetes, Oscar Mayer weenies.
Sure. Perfect.
And
dogs and people.
Yeah, he couldn't pick it up. He just kept like hitting his teeth against the floor.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I had to give him like little pieces because it was kind of, well, speaking of just clapping right now, keeping this on beat, he was like in a 3-beat mindset in his mind. Like when he licked water, he was like, and then would stop. And same thing with the hot dog. Like he'd like shoot it with his tongue and then catch it in the air and then do it 3 times and then just stop. I don't know. It was really weird.
So did you eat the dog?
Did I eat the dog? No. I wasn't feeling Chinese today.
Ah.
So, but.
So how does that story end? Like you find this sick dog, you bring him in to ooze all over your home.
Yeah.
You feed him your breakfast of Oscar Mayer wieners.
Yeah.
And
well, we called a rescue, and I'm like, oh man, because these pussy ass mailmen didn't want to come to my house because I got a wasp nest. So apparently that's put as animal interference, you know.
Sure.
So it's because it's that hard to slip something into a hole, you know. Well, anyways, so I didn't know who would show up to get this dog. I didn't even know if I'm gonna keep him. So we got him. I told my girl to go get some Iams or something, just like a small bag. We didn't know if he had to wait, and I guess cops picked him up. And yeah, they I don't know. There's no dog tag on him. They literally stood in front of my house for like an hour because, well, the funny thing is when you picked him up, it was like squeezing a pimple. You were squeezing farts out of it because I don't know if it had like a stomach problem or it was sick.
So what, you would like pet him or rub his tummy and just?
It now when you pick him up.
Oh.
Because he was so fat, I was afraid. He kept walking like an anxiety in a figure 8 in the living room.
Okay.
I'm like, just sit the fuck down, you know. So just chill out. You just had some Oscar Mayer wieners, some water. Like chill out. We you know, you don't got to look through garbage anymore. And I tried lifting him onto the couch, and he just completely, just like every time. And then it was, and Kelly was like, "Yeah, we're definitely not having him here because it's like you times 3." Because, yeah, it was really bad.
But man's best friend, Phil.
Yeah.
Come on. That's, you and Kelly are you just recently moved in together. I think it's time to start building those family skills. And what better way to do so than with a pus-dripping, stinky, farty bulldog that you found in the trash.
Bill, don't talk about me like that. Come on now.
Sorry, mistake. So, okay. Did you name the dog?
No, I didn't. I wanted to. I was like, this is free $500.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we're gonna claim them.
Sure. So, what would you have named the dog?
Probably Reggie, just because it was a favorite. On Super Nintendo, there's this game like Final Fight. It's called Rival Turf.
Okay.
And I always loved this one guy, Reggie.
Sure.
Because he just really looked like a mix between Iggy Pop and a modern crust punk.
Okay.
He had a green shirt and yellow pants, and he just kept kicking.
Sure. Sounds smelly.
Yep. So yeah, I probably wouldn't. But I bet like a month in, I would like not want him there. But
no.
Plus, it would devastate because there's Gavin, 6-year-old, my girlfriend's kid. He's got a ferret for 2 years. I don't even know if that dog would last a year because he looked really old. I mean, bulldogs are supposed to be the size of like what? This lava lamp, like a pug, sorta.
Yeah, I guess maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a very exciting morning.
Yep.
What did I do?
So you got me a cigar. Who's from who?
So I gave Phil a cigar that someone gave to me Thursday evening at the brewery across the street from where I work, and his name was Ramon, and he just had it with him, and he said, "My friend says this is a Cuban, but this is definitely not a Cuban." And I asked the important question: "Is it as good as a Swisher?" And Ramon assured me it was much, much better than a Swisher. So I think you're in for a treat if and when you ever decide to smoke that.
Awesome.
I mean, someone has said it's a Cuban. Someone has said it's not a Cuban.
Yeah.
So it might be a Cuban. And actually, at that brewery is where I spent most of my morning today. It was one of the bartender's birthdays.
Yeah.
I think she turned 34. And so they went to the brewery. They host yoga there, like every other week on Sundays. And so
we're in a bar?
Yeah.
Where do they do it?
They just move all the tables out of the way, and people set up their mats. And then sometimes, yeah. No, and it was really weird because they told me it was going to be done by 11.
Yeah.
And so I went in at 11:05, and they still had I don't even know what kind of music it was, but, like calm, meditative, soothing tones, and all the lights were off.
Yeah.
And there was a lady talking very calmly, saying, "Now rest on your biceps and turn your palms to the sky. And now turn them towards the ground and lift yourself up." And I was just, like, I walked in.
Yeah.
And I tried to be quiet, and I felt a little bit like a pervert, frankly, because there's just a bunch of women laying and stretching out on the ground in the dark.
You didn't join the cult?
No. Next time, though. I mean, it seemed pretty calming, pretty soothing. I've never once done yoga, but I figure I'm going to wind up at the brewery anyway. Why not do some exercise before I pollute my body? But so they finished up. They all had jokes at my expense because, "Wow, dude, that's pretty fucking creepy that you're just walking in and we're all just working out." And I was like, yeah, whatever. I did. I came in and I made my way to the bar, and I definitely, like, deliberately averted my gaze. I looked away from them.
Yeah.
Because I, blind or not, I didn't want to just stare at them.
Yeah.
I could have.
Smooth. Now take the garments off.
Right, just licking my lips. Oh, they would have loved that.
Let them wave across the floor. On a non-polluted ocean. Not the real world.
See, I'm all about networking, and I don't want to, I spend the majority of my free time at that brewery, so I'm not trying to freak them out or let them know how perverse I am or how creepy I am. I'm trying to keep that a deep, deep, dark secret that they will never, never know.
Yeah.
So it was one of the bartenders' birthdays, so they were all there doing their yoga thing, and then they were going to brunch. They had reservations at 12:45.
Yeah.
And so I hung out with them between 11 and 12:15. And the reason I was late to meet up with you is because I made a friend named Sean. And Sean is a landlord, and he has a place for rent that sounded pretty enticing. So I got talking to him, and, you know, one drink led to three. And that's just kind of the way it goes with me. Happy Sunday, Phil.